This presentation provides an introduction to the book titled Simple G, a gridded economic approach to analysis of sustainability of the Earth's land and water resources, edited by Iman Hakiki and Thomas Hurdle, and published by Springer. Each chapter in this book has a companion presentation to motivate the material covered in that chapter. This slide provides an overview of all chapters in the Simple G book. During this presentation, I'll cover Chapter 1, which provides an introduction to, motivation for, and features of the Simple G framework. After we've covered those items, I'll move on to discuss the overall structure of the book. So let's jump right in and learn more about the motivation for Simple G. This book draws its inspiration and motivation from the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, which are 17 broad goals for attaining a sustainable planet. As you can see, 9 of these goals can be directly related to the food, land, and water system. Analysis of these global goals at a local level requires a multiscale framework. The Simple G multiscale framework aims to capture both global drivers of local sustainability stresses, as well as feedback from local policies and stresses to the regional and global levels. Global to local to global analysis is a consistent theme throughout this book. Now that we've covered the motivation for Simple G, let's start looking into its features. In addition to capturing these global-local-global interactions, Simple G is designed as a framework, not a single model. As will be demonstrated in the 8 applications of Simple G in Part 4 of the book, this framework is amenable to addressing a wide range of issues. Furthermore, by keeping the economics as simple as possible, the Simple G framework allows room for rich interdisciplinary collaboration. As will become clear in Parts 3 and 4 of the book, much of the data and parameterization for this model is sourced from collaborators in the biophysical sciences. An important concept in the Simple G framework is that all grid cells are connected through markets for crop outputs and inputs. Additionally, there's competition for land and water resources within geographic boundaries, which are typically grid cells or watersheds. The connection through markets allows for condensation of the model's equations, such that Simple G can be readily solved on a laptop with millions of grid cells broken out. The resolution of this framework is only constrained by data and parameter availability. Once the full model is solved for equilibrium prices, outcomes in individual grid cells can be explored in depth using the Simple G mini-model approach. As we'll see in Chapter 11, the mini-model can be used to exhaustively explain model results, including any surprising differences that appear when the results are viewed on a map. This allows users to track these differences back to differences in data and parameters, which may in turn require further scrutiny and evaluation by collaborating scientists. In short, Simple G is not a black box. Now that we've briefly discussed the motivation for and features of the Simple G framework, let's take a moment to look at a general overview of the book, which is comprised of 5 parts. Following the introduction, Part 2 provides the economic foundations for Simple G. Part 3 documents, in detail, the specification of a range of Simple G models, starting from a single activity with 2 inputs in each grid cell, and ending with more complex specifications of the production functions, along with competing activities in each grid cell. Part 4 offers 8 different applications of Simple G in the context of differing sustainability challenges and geographies. All of the files needed to replicate these studies are provided on the book's website, the link for which will be provided on the next slide. Finally, Part 5 discusses a wide range of future directions for Simple G, including proposing a global community of practice for the sharing of data, models, and knowledge. We hope you'll join us in advancing the multiscale analyses of the challenges facing the Earth system. As mentioned, this slide lists the link to the Simple G webpage where you can find additional resources, as well as links to the book and other chapter presentations. Lastly, we also gratefully acknowledge support from the U.S. Department of Energy, the Department of Agriculture, and the National Science Foundation. Thank you for watching this presentation on the Simple G book, Chapter 1. We encourage you to explore the other companion videos that accompany the book on the Simple G webpage.